The year 2020 will for sure go down in history. A global pandemic, presidential election, and a shortage of toilet paper. That brings us to today's Getting Crafty project. It is an ornament to help commemorate this year. And joining us back, we have Amy Latta. Thanks for being with us.
Anytime, Amanda.
I love this. It's very seasonal, very appropriate for this year. So we're actually going to do two projects today, both using polymer clay.
Yes.
What is the first one that we're making?
So the first thing we're doing, we collect ornaments in our house, and we have a special ornament for each year. And as I thought about what do I want to represent 2020, TP just kind of sums it all up.
I agree.
So, yes, so we're going to be making an ornament for your tree that is a roll of toilet paper to symbolize the dumpster fire that is 2020.
Okay. So we talked about having polymer clay for this.
Yes.
What else do we need?
So I also have a ruler, or anything that's a straight edge. I have a roller. Now mine is actually a Sculpey clay tool, but you could also use a can of peas. Anything that's a cylinder that's heavy enough that you could roll with. A plastic knife, and you're going to need a permanent marker to write 2020 if you like. And then for the hanger, you can always just glue on ribbon at the end, but if you happen to have, this is actually a jewelry making tool, an eye pin. So it's like a straight pin, but it has a little loop at the top. This is what I'm going to use for my hanger. And you can get those at any craft stores or Amazon. It's just called an eye pin, E-Y-E. And that's something you can use for the hanger.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so I see that you have white clay rolled out. What do we do next?
Yes, so the first thing you would do, you have to work this in your hands to get it flexible. And then I made like a hot dog shape and I rolled it out, and you're just going to roll it out until it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. And you can see that I have just this kind of nice long white almost rectangle. So our next step is to make it a rectangle. So I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to turn my ruler, and I'm actually going to press it into the clay, and it's going to show me where I want to trim so that I have nice straight edges.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take the plastic knife, and again, mine is an actual Sculpey clay tool, but you can use any plastic knife that you have at home. And I'm just going to cut this into a long white rectangle and peel away anything that's extra. And then the last step is that we're going to roll it up. So you can start at either end, and you're just going to roll it. I like to roll it toward myself so I can kind of control what it looks like. And I'm going to leave a little bit of the end just hanging off there. Now I know this is going to bring in the great TP debate, over or under.
Yes.
So you get to decide for your own ornament. Mine, I had the 2020. You can see here, mine is an under roll. But if that
bothers you,
if that bothers you, you can do yours the other way and write your 2020 on the other side. But the last thing that we're going to do to make this really look like a roll of TP, you know how they're perforated squares. So we're going to take this little tool, which again, your plastic knife works just fine, and we're just going to make a little dent in the clay. You don't want to push too hard because we don't actually want to cut the clay. We want it to stay in our roll. But what you want to do is you just want to press these little dents, and what that'll do is give you the look of individual squares of TP.
I love it. So finally, you're going to add your ornament.
Yes, so I'm going to push the eye pin into my clay like so. And then it needs to get baked, because polymer clay, if it's not baked, it'll always stay flexible, and we don't want that. We want it to be hard and something that lasts for years.
So how long do we bake it?
We're going to bake it for half an hour. Basically, polymer clay, you bake it for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch thickness. So we're going to bake this for about half an hour at 275 degrees. So we want a cooler oven for a longer time to really pull the moisture out of the clay and dry it.
Then we're going to tie it with a string. We're going to put it on our tree.
Yep.
Amy's going to stick around. She's going to be with us. We're going to have another Getting Crafty segment coming up.
That's right.
Stay with us. We have a classic